I'm Gail Page. I'm the owner of Imperial Linen Services, 44 years. We have prescribed routes, 6 trucks, 3 trucks that pick up bulk linen items, 3 smaller vehicles that pick up smaller quantities. We do this 7 days a week. Downtime is minimal for the customer. Once they go out and make their stops, they load the vehicle. The trucks return to our facility. They unload these carts. They stage them in an area, and then they go around to the other side of the building. They pick up another load of clean and go back out. We work 4 10-hour shifts in the plant. Once the linen is in our plant, it's weighed. It goes into a linen tracking system called Laundry Track, which is used universally throughout the industry. All of our work is billed by the pound. Not all, but 99% of it's billed by the pound. Clean, dry, weight, pound. So we weigh the soil weight coming in. We verify that. We send them a receiving manifest at the time it's weighed. Then the linen is taken to another holding area where it's awaiting sorting. Once it gets sorted, it gets the carts. These linen transport, bulk linen transport carts are rolled into a dumping device to minimize the amount of labor that takes to unload these carts, because these carts can hold up to 400 pounds of linen. It's very ergonomically designed to be ergonomically efficient so that we don't get anybody hurt, and fatigue factor does not set in. All of our employees wear back braces. Once this linen is put in these carts, it's dumped on a conveyor. It goes down the conveyor, and we have people stationed there, and they separate the various items, like they separate the sheets, the towels, the pillowcases, table linen, like that all goes into different categories. And these bags, once these bags reach a weight of 150 pounds, they are transferred over and lifted up into the top of the building into a soil sorting system. Multi-track tracks those things as it goes through. Yes, it tracks what is in each bag, who it belongs to, and each one of those bags has, let's say towels have a different wash formula than sheets and pillowcases and so forth. Pillowcases get a little bit stiffer wash formula because people with, eyeshadow makeup, a little bit more stringent, and that goes up in the top of the building, is stored, and then the computer releases this and brings it over and drops it into the top of the continuous batch washing system on the intake end. It goes into there. It goes through 8 chambers. Each chamber performs a different operation. The first operation is a flush, where we wet down the linen and flush any loose object. Then it goes into a suds operation where detergent, bleach, alkali, that sort of thing is applied to wash the linen. When it comes out the other end, it goes through a press, and the water is squeezed out. That takes the water out, and then it's transferred by means of a shuttle into dryers, and then they're staged to go into the finishing process. This continuous batch washing system is state of the art. It not only keeps track of all this. The system will do 4,500 pounds per hour. Yes, a speed check rail system is the thing that keeps track of it, drops it in there, loads it, and so forth. Each product has a custom wash formula assigned to it depending upon the thread count, the color, the soil level, and so forth. So it all does this. Computer keeps track of all this. Also very ergonomically sound, because we don't want anybody here lifting anything heavy.
Sure.
It's all done, it's all mechanized. Once it goes through the CBW, it goes into a press, and some of the water is squeezed out, goes into what they call a cake, which is a round cake. It goes into a conveyor, if you will, called a shuttle. It picks the open dryer, goes down, raises it up, and puts it in the dryer, unloads by gravity into a cart, and depending upon what type of linen item it is, like I said, all the terry is washed and dried, and it goes to a folding operation. The sheets, pillowcases and stuff go to flat work ironers where they go through and they're ironed. One really important thing about this tunnel washing system, or CBW, is it automatically does water reuse. On the clean end down, whenever it goes through the last 3 rinses on the end, it catches that water and brings it back up to the front, puts it in a tank to be reused. It minimizes the amount of water consumption and that sort of thing. Centrifugal extraction. That's on one of the CBWs, because some of the fabrics that we do a lot of high-end hotels, and they have very high thread count linen. They don't like the pressure from squeezing that out through a press, so we spin it and extract it. Catch the water out of that too, and we'll go back and reuse it. So the water that comes out that's put back up to the front, it goes through again, and it's reused in the suds operation. The dirty water on the first suds operations goes to the sewer. It goes through a wastewater heat reclamation process, and we take the heat out of the wastewater and preheat the water coming in from the outside, so that we don't have to burn as much gas, and it's energy efficient, and you don't have all the polluting in the atmosphere. We don't discharge the hot exhaust out of the boiler. We have 2 boilers that they require steam, which we heat water with too. That incoming water is injected into that stack, so it takes the heat out of that. It preheats the water there, so that drastically cuts down on our energy bills, efficiency. This whole thing is designed to where nobody's, I mean, you're talking about a lot of weight.
Oh yeah.
I mean, be physically demanding, very heavy. They don't pick it up. The stuff is dried. Anytime you take let's say a terry towel or something, and you move it and shake it, you're gonna get lint coming off.
Sure.
So you get lint all in the atmosphere. We capture all that lint, so that number one, the people don't have to breathe it.
Sure.
And number two, it keeps the facility cleaner. And lint disposal is a big factor that we deal with every day. This, in a way, a laundry is a big lint factory. You don't want that accumulating around, because it can be a fire hazard, it can be a health hazard, and that's why we've employed the lint collectors and stuff, and lint busters to collect all that lint, and then it's disposed of in a systematic way. When you blow the boiler down to refresh the water in the boiler, so there's no corrosion in the boiler. The items that go through the sheet ironers and stuff, they come out damp, because you want to feed those through damp, and it dries them and presses them flat and folds them, separates the king sheets from the queen sheets, drops them on separate conveyors, so that when the ladies take them off, all they do is take them off, inspect them, and then they put them in the cart. All this is done from right here. What the spreader feeder does is takes the sheet, and it has to be spread out, and then it feeds it into our spreader feeder, goes through the ironer, it's pressed, then it gets folded, and then it goes on to a stacker that separates the king sheets from the queen sheets, so that they can be put in the proper cart and so forth. They call that a folder cross folder. Rapid feed is where you feed pillowcases and napkins and stuff like that. They feed 5 lanes through the ironer at the same time. There's a lane folder. That's an SP5 that you may see on there. That it folds those napkins and tablecloths and pillowcases separately and puts them into stacks. All this is done by batch. Customer A, we run all the stuff for customer A first. We finish that, put it in the carts, then we do customer B, C, D, and so forth. Thank you. It's my pleasure.